Going to open that door.
Oh, here we go. They've opened the doors. They're coming out.
Comes Brian Snitker and his wife, 45-year employee of the Atlanta Braves. You are looking at not only the world champion manager who has done such an extraordinary job, you are looking at the last of his kind. You will never, ever see a manager again work 45 years for one organization. It is a remarkable run that he's had as a player, as a manager. Incredible. Freddie Freeman now hoisting the world champion trophy, the commissioner's trophy for all to see in Atlanta Metro, the Southeast, and a lot of other ports around. His little boy and wife in tow.
Oh, how cute is that?
We have gotten to know his little boy very well over the months. He has the ability to hit and throw, much like his father. A lot of good DNA in there and a lot of good old-fashioned hard work for a young boy who likes to be in a baseball uniform. At Bastion now shaking hands with Freddie Freeman and Freddie's wife. It is a sight we have seen very few of in Atlanta since professional sports came here in 1966. As far as championships go, they are as rare as a cold day in July in Atlanta. Very rare indeed. There is the MVP of the World Series, Jorge Soler. 446-foot home run last night that cleared the yard, cleared the stadium, and made its way toward an apartment. There's a story in the Houston Chronicle about that ball finding some apartment people, and they were holding it hostage last night. Derek Schiller, who has done a fine job as Braves president, fine father, has great kids who've gone to Wesleyan High School out in Norcross. It is slow going down those steps. Watch those knees, older people. It's a long way down. So they're going to make their way to Truist Park, and the initial estimates have been around 8 o'clock. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty close tonight. You know, it's 6:52 right now, so with everybody getting off, it'll take them a while to get into the buses yet, and depending on what the traffic situation looks like, which is always a wild card. There's Freddie Freeman. Joe Buck really created a huge Twitter storm last night when he mentioned that maybe it would be the last at bat for Freddie Freeman, and Braves fans across the country went absolutely crazy on Twitter about it. Please don't bring that up at that point, that those are issues to be dealt with, but certainly not in a Game 6 and a home run that had proven to be so consequential. So you see the charter buses over there. Terry McGurk, who is the CEO of the Braves with the white hair next to Freddie Freeman right now, who has been steering the ship for this franchise for quite a few years now and has been doing it successfully. His father was once a general manager in Atlanta television decades ago. Got his start there, and Terry has always told that story about his roots being in Atlanta television and that of his family. We continue to see more deplaning right now as Braves arrived about 6:36 tonight, so it has been it's been about 15 minutes or so, right? It is a big entourage of family and employees. The one thing about these kinds of World Series and Super Bowls and NBA championships, the organizations like to try and reward employees with a trip to these great games, and that's one of the great perks of working for successful organizations, because you get an opportunity to make one of these trips that will be something you will never ever forget. And those employees who are lucky enough to be on that flight will be talking about this 30 years from now. It is an extraordinary moment. Communities oftentimes are defined, at least through the generations, by winning sports teams. They just are. And baseball has always been that generational tie between families, between fathers and grandfathers and uncles and aunts and brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers. And, you know, you can talk to Atlanta natives or longtime residents here, and they will always have a Brave story to tell you. A favorite player, whether it's Henry Aaron or Dale Murphy, you know, or Tom Glavine or John Smoltz or Greg Maddux. It has always been that way, or David Justice. You know, depending on your age, depending on what part of the metro area you grew up in, you probably have a Braves memory of some kind that ties you to this region and certainly ties you to the city as well. Braves are always an organization that draws regionally, unlike the Falcons and the Hawks, who draw primarily through Atlanta Metro. Braves have a great fan base in South Carolina and Alabama and Tennessee and Mississippi and all around. And you can see that fan base always in attendance during the summer months as they make the trip to Atlanta Metro and the Battery now and Truist Park. And again, Braves are going to be there within an hour. If you're planning on making the trek up there, that is where they are going to be. We're going to have some live reports coming up for you during our 8 o'clock news, which happens here on WATL, the Big 36. So we hope that you'll be able to join us. We're going to have complete coverage for you tonight. If